The moment I stepped outside wearing that miniskirt, I could feel the air shift. Heads turned, eyes lingered. Some expressions looked amused, others confused. A few were even admiring. But one thing was certain, people noticed. And honestly, so did I. Not because of the skirt itself, it was simple, elegant, dark navy, just a few inches above the knee, but because of what it represented. A choice, a quiet rebellion. A decision to stop dressing for approval and start dressing for me. At 70, I wasn't supposed to wear a miniskirt. That's what the world tells us, right? There's this invisible line women are expected to cross somewhere between 50 and 60, where bold prints become too loud, fitted silhouettes become inappropriate, and showing skin becomes almost scandalous. But who made those rules? And why are so many incredible, vibrant women over 60 still letting them define how they dress, how they walk into a room, or how they feel about their reflection in the mirror? If you've ever looked at a piece of clothing and thought, I love it, but I'm too old for that, then this video is for you. Because what I learned from that one day in a miniskirt didn't just change the way I dress, it changed the way I carry myself. And today, I'm going to share with you 7 powerful ideas that helped me unlock a new level of confidence, style, and self-love after 60. From timeless styling tricks to anti-aging fashion habits that actually work, we're diving deep into the art of dressing boldly, aging gracefully, and reclaiming your sense of beauty on your own terms. But before I share those lessons, let's rewind a little. Because the real story didn't begin with the skirt. It began with a quiet, unexpected question that changed everything. Breaking the rules we never agreed to. Let's be honest. Somewhere along the way, we were handed a silent set of fashion rules. Don't wear skirts above the knee. Avoid bold colors. Cover your arms. Stick to neutrals. Blend in, not stand out. And the unspoken one, you're too old to wear that. But who wrote these rules? And more importantly, why did we agree to them? Most of us didn't. We just absorbed them, slowly, over decades. From magazine headlines, disapproving glances, and even well-meaning friends who told us to dress our age. As if age has a specific dress code. These so-called style rules for older women have done more than limit our wardrobes. They've shrunk our sense of expression. They've told us that elegance must be quiet, that maturity means modesty, and that once you hit 60, your job is to disappear quietly into beige cardigans and sensible shoes. But here's the truth. Age-appropriate fashion is a myth. You don't age out of style, you evolve into it. In fact, some of the most stunning, confident women I've ever met didn't hit their fashion stride until after 60. Why? Because they stopped dressing for others. They stopped asking permission. They started defining beauty on their own terms, and their presence became magnetic. Redefining beauty over 60 isn't about fighting age. It's about stepping fully into your power, your story, your style. It's about remembering that you still get to wear the bold earrings, the red lipstick, the tailored pantsuit, or yes, even the miniskirt. Fashion isn't just about clothes, it's about visibility. And for too long, women over 60 have been taught to fade into the background. But you've earned every right to take up space with your voice, your values, and yes, your wardrobe. So if you've ever hesitated before putting on something you loved, something that made you feel alive because of what someone else might think, this is your permission slip to wear it anyway. Because when you start dressing like yourself again, something magical happens. You begin to see yourself again. And that's when the real transformation starts, not just in your closet, but in your confidence. Now that we've broken down those old, dusty fashion rules, let's talk about something even more powerful: how to wear anything, even a miniskirt, with elegance. Because style doesn't come from what you wear, it comes from how you wear it. Elegance isn't in the skirt, it's in the woman wearing it. Let's get something straight right now. Elegance has nothing to do with skirt length. You can wear a mini skirt and look refined. You can wear full-length slacks and look careless. It's never been about the hemline. It's always been about how you carry yourself. After that day in the miniskirt, I realized something powerful. People weren't just reacting to my outfit. They were responding to my energy. I wasn't shrinking. I wasn't apologizing. I wasn't trying to disappear. I stood tall. I smiled. I walked like I had every right to be seen, because I do. And so do you. If you're wondering how to wear a miniskirt after 60 without feeling awkward or out of place, here's the secret. Don't focus on the skirt. Focus on the styling and on your presence. Start with quality fabrics, a tailored fit, a strong silhouette. These are the bones of elegant fashion over 60. Think of pairings that balance modern with timeless. A soft cashmere sweater tucked into a structured skirt, or a crisp blazer layered over a sleek black mini. Add a low heel or a pair of polished ankle boots. Classic, not flashy. Accessories matter too. A statement necklace, a refined handbag, hair brushed back with intention. These small touches whisper class without shouting for attention. But the most essential piece? Confidence. Because what really transforms a simple outfit into a classy outfit for senior women isn't what you're wearing, it's how you feel wearing it. Do you feel at ease? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel like you? When you answer yes to those questions, it shows, it radiates from you. And people notice, not in a judgmental way, but in awe. Because confidence at any age is captivating. That's why it's so important to stop seeing fashion as a set of limitations and start seeing it as a canvas. A miniskirt isn't too young for you. It's simply another brushstroke on the painting of who you are today. And whether you choose bold or simple, tailored or flowing, what makes it beautiful is the woman inside it. But here's the thing, elegance doesn't happen in isolation. It grows from something deeper. And that something is how you feel about yourself when no one's watching. When you love yourself, the world softens too. I used to think that confidence came from how I looked. If I lost a few pounds, if I found the right lipstick, if I wore the right clothes. But I was wrong. Real confidence, the kind that turns heads and quiets rooms, comes from something quieter, deeper. It comes from how you treat yourself when no one else is around. And here's what I've learned, especially in my 60s and 70s. When you love yourself, the world softens too. People start responding to your energy, not your outfit. They see a woman who knows who she is, who shows up for herself, who doesn't need permission to shine. But let's be honest, it doesn't happen overnight. For years, I put everyone else first. I skipped skincare routines, canceled hair appointments, ignored my needs. I was too busy being a wife, a mother, a friend, an employee, and somewhere along the way, I forgot that I mattered too. It wasn't until I slowed down that I realized how much of my confidence had been neglected. So I started small, a gentle evening routine. Anti-aging skincare that felt less like vanity and more like care. A quiet cup of tea on the porch without guilt. These rituals didn't just help my skin, they helped my spirit. Then I began taking walks, moving my body with love, not punishment, stretching in the morning, listening to music I loved, saying no to things that drained me. These weren't dramatic changes, but they were sacred. They reminded me, confidence after 60 doesn't mean pretending to be 30. It means honoring the woman you've become and nurturing her like you would your best friend. Because when you begin to really care for yourself, you stop needing validation from the outside. You stand differently, speak differently, dress differently. That day I wore the mini skirt, I realized I wasn't looking for approval. I was simply reflecting how I felt inside. And the world, it mirrored that back to me. So if you've been waiting for a sign to start loving yourself more, this is it. Start today. Not by changing who you are, but by returning to her, Because the most powerful thing a mature woman can wear isn't just a bold lipstick or a stylish skirt, it's self-respect. And that never goes out of fashion. But speaking of timeless beauty, there's one part of your appearance that's often underestimated, and yet it has the power to transform how the world sees you instantly. Your hair, the crown you didn't know you needed. They say your hair is your crown, but for so many women over 60, that crown starts to feel more like a burden. We look in the mirror and see thinning strands, dull texture, or grays that we were taught to hide. Somewhere along the way, we started believing that youthful hair equals long, dark, and voluminous. And if we don't match that image, we must be letting ourselves go. But here's what I've learned. Gray doesn't mean invisible. Short doesn't mean less feminine. And your hair, it still has the power to make you feel absolutely radiant. The key is to stop chasing youth and start embracing style. Because when you find the right cut, color, and care routine for where you are now, not where you used to be, you unlock something magical. You stop fighting your reflection and start celebrating it. There are so many anti-aging haircuts that bring out your features in the most elegant way. A soft, layered bob that frames the face. A chin-length cut with side-swept bangs that adds instant lift. Even a pixie cut, edgy yet graceful, can be stunning on a confident woman over 60. The trick, find a cut that moves with you, that doesn't overwhelm your face or weigh down your look. Texture is your friend, so is softness. You want a haircut that says, yes, I've lived and I've never looked better. Now let's talk about color. If you've been covering your grays for decades, I understand. There's comfort in routine, but I'll say this gently. Gray hair with style is not only beautiful, it's powerful. There's something commanding about a silver mane worn with pride. Whether it's icy platinum, soft salt and pepper, or a natural white streak, gray isn't aging, it's identity. If you're not ready to go fully gray, no problem. Dimensional highlights, warm balayage, or even a soft pastel rinse can keep your look fresh and intentional. The point is, color should feel like a choice, not an obligation. And no matter what style you choose, the goal is always the same, to walk out of the house and feel finished, put together, like you own every room you walk into. So if it's been a while since you updated your hairstyle, or if you've been wearing the same look since your 40s, consider this your loving nudge. Because a haircut isn't just about aesthetics, it's about energy. It's about how you show up. And you deserve to show up feeling like the queen you are. But great hair is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about something even more powerful, the daily habits that keep you glowing, not just on special occasions, but every single day. The everyday habits that make you look and feel younger. There's a common misconception that looking younger requires big, expensive changes. Facelifts, fillers, endless products lining the bathroom sink. But the truth is, the most powerful transformations often begin with the simplest shifts. Anti-aging lifestyle habits don't have to be overwhelming. In fact, the most effective ones are often small, gentle, and consistent. They're woven into your daily rhythm, not forced, but chosen. One of the first changes I made was to stand up straighter. It sounds almost too simple to matter, doesn't it? But the moment I started pulling my shoulders back, lifting my chin, and walking with purpose, everything shifted. People treated me differently. I felt more present, more powerful. That one habit made me look 5 years younger, without a single product. Another habit, walking. Every morning, just 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not talking about power walking with weights, just a calm, steady pace that gets the blood flowing. Fresh air, a little sunlight on the skin, a chance to breathe deeply. That daily movement helped clear my mind, boost my energy, and tone my legs more than any gym session ever did. And then there's skincare, not just the anti-aging skincare itself, but the ritual, warm water, gentle cleansing, a rich moisturizer that says, I'm taking care of you. These are moments of self-respect, not just beauty maintenance. Let's not forget hydration. One extra glass of water a day can reduce puffiness, improve skin texture, and boost your mood. It's the most underrated, graceful aging tip of all. But here's the one that surprised me most: getting dressed every morning, even if I wasn't going anywhere. There's something powerful about choosing a beautiful blouse instead of an old t-shirt, swiping on a little mascara, brushing your hair before breakfast. These moments send a message to yourself: I matter. That's what a daily routine for senior women should be about. Not pressure, not perfection, just presence. You don't need to change everything all at once. Start with one habit, the smallest one, the one that fits into your day with ease, and watch how it grows. Because when you commit to honoring your body, your rhythm, your needs, you don't just look younger, you feel alive. And suddenly, that reflection in the mirror starts to feel like a woman you recognize again, not someone you used to be, someone you still are. But even with the right clothes, the right haircut, and the right habits, some of us still hesitate, still hold back, still wait for permission. That's why I want to take you back to the moment that started all of this, the day I wore that miniskirt. That skirt didn't change the world, but it changed me. I didn't expect much that morning. I had pulled the skirt out on a whim, something tucked in the back of my closet, nearly forgotten. It wasn't flashy, just simple, soft, and a little shorter than what I usually wear. I looked in the mirror, hesitated for a moment, then thought, why not? And I wore it. I walked into the cafe. I stood in line at the grocery store. I strolled through the park. And yes, people looked. Some smiled politely. Some looked a little confused. A few offered compliments. But what mattered most wasn't their reaction. It was mine. For the first time in years, I felt awake. Not invisible, not muted. Present. It wasn't about trying to look younger. It was about remembering that I still had the right to be seen, that I didn't need to shrink or tone myself down just because of a number. Confident style at any age begins when you stop waiting for permission. It begins when you realize that elegance isn't about playing small, it's about owning your space with grace. I stood taller that day. I made eye contact. I smiled at strangers. And somewhere between the sidewalk and the espresso line, I realized I wasn't just wearing a skirt. I was stepping into myself again. Be yourself over 60. It sounds simple, but it's the bravest thing you'll ever do. Because the world doesn't always make space for older women to be bold, to be stylish, to be radiant. But when you stop asking for space and start taking it, something beautiful happens. You inspire others to do the same. Since that day, I've worn that skirt many times. And every time it reminds me, I'm not done, I'm not invisible, and I'm not afraid to be me. Aging with elegance isn't about hiding the years, it's about honoring them. It's about choosing what makes you feel alive, whether that's a red dress, silver hair, or yes, a mini skirt at 70. You don't have to wear anything just because I did. That's not the point. The point is, you get to choose. And when you start making choices based on how you feel, not how others might react, that's when style becomes freedom. And freedom, that's what really turns heads. But before we wrap up, let's take a breath and remember the most important lessons from this journey. Because what we've uncovered isn't just about clothes, it's about a new way of being. Conclusion: every woman deserves to wear what makes her feel beautiful. Let's take a moment to exhale. We've traveled through fashion myths, rediscovered elegance, reclaimed self-worth, and remembered that aging isn't the end of style, it's the beginning of something deeper. If this video has shown you anything, I hope it's this: you don't have to settle, you don't have to shrink, and you absolutely don't have to ask for permission to feel beautiful. Whether it's a mini skirt, a flowing maxi, a bold blazer, or your favorite pair of jeans, you have the right to choose what makes you feel alive. Because ageless fashion isn't about dressing young, it's about dressing true. And truth is always in style. Let's quickly revisit what we've explored together. We broke down the silent rules that tell older women to disappear. We redefined elegance as something that comes from within. We uncovered the magic of self-love and daily rituals. We celebrated the power of a fresh haircut and the beauty of embracing gray. And we reminded ourselves that confidence isn't something you buy, it's something you build. These aren't just style tips, they're invitations to stand taller, to feel freer, to live louder in your own skin. Because mature style makeover isn't about changing who you are, it's about remembering who you've always been. And if you're still wondering whether it's okay to wear that skirt, try that haircut or experiment with that red lipstick. I hope you already know the answer. You deserve to feel beautiful every single day. So if you found even a spark of inspiration in this video, I invite you to keep going, to keep discovering new layers of your style and your strength. And if you're ready to take the next step, don't miss our next video. 10 simple pieces that make you look 10 years younger without trying. Because style is a journey, and I'd love to walk it with you. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another moment of confidence, elegance, and ageless inspiration.